Jordi, let's start with Brooklyn. The opportunity to be the head coach in the city with this organization. Frame for us what that means to you.
It means the world, right? It's like the beginning of a new chapter in our lives, not just for myself, but for my family. And really looking forward to be part of the community. Because at the end of the day, when you do this job, you do it for the people that lives here, for the people that are going to watch our games, and they'll be proud of what we do. So that's what we're working towards. Obviously, after that is organize our players, get everybody on the same page, be extremely competitive. Like I said before, this beginning of my partnership with Joe and Sean has been amazing, and the vision they have for the process and for our new project. I couldn't ask for a better partnership. So very, very excited.
Just the actual move itself. You've lived in so many places. You're coming here and bringing your beautiful family. What's it going to be like for you making this transition across the country now, coming from Sacramento to here and getting yourself settled in this community?
Yeah, I'm the product of a lot of experiences. Like I think we all are, right? So I think that's going to help me adjust and adapt to, the lifestyle, the organization, getting to know people. So I know it's not going to be perfect, or it's not going to be how I expect 100%, but I know that, I've done it before. I've changed cities. I've lived in different countries, and if you can be flexible and see how people live and what they do and just learn from it, I'm very excited about it. And like I said, very excited about the resources and what the organization is going to give this team.
I think so often we have asked, whether it's General Manager Sean Marks, why is Jordi Fernández the right fit for the Brooklyn Nets to lead them forward? I pose to you both, why are you the right fit, and also why did you think, you've had a lot of opportunities and there's been a lot of situations that you have been a part of, why did you think that this Brooklyn Nets team, program, organization was the right fit for you?
I think through the process, at least on my end, I think we connected right away with ownership, like I said, with Joe and with Sean. And that connection is extremely important, because then you see that, you view things the same way. You don't want to win just one game or one season. You want to be process oriented and win for a long time and sustain it. And the way to do that is when you're in a winning environment, you don't know it until you know it. And I want to create something here where players put team success first over personal success. Because at the end of the day, if we win as a team, everybody will be okay. Coaches, everybody on staff, everybody, and obviously the players. So I want them to appreciate that and how important that is for everybody's career.
What is that like for you, undertaking this role at this time in this position, knowing there may be some fluidity for what the roster may look like? There are still some moving pieces as you get set for the summer. To input your coaching style and just how you want to present yourself as a head coach as you step into this role for the first time with an NBA team?
So I learned that there's in the G League, right? There's a lot of changes in the G League, the roster, how everything works. So right there I learned that I'm a problem solver. Sometimes problems come your way and you get frustrated with what happened, but if I didn't create it, it's not going to affect me that much. What I'm going to try to do is figure it out. My job is to be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, and it's not to be the owner, not to be the GM, not to be the media person, not to be the sports performance. So I think we all have a role, we all have a job, and I'm going to try to be a star in my role. Same that I'm going to ask every single player, do your job for the team. I'm going to tell you what your job is, and then from there I think that we can all be successful. So right now we don't know how the roster is going to look like 100%. We have, some players that we know who they are, we believe in them. But at the end of the day, I believe that Sean and his group are going to do an amazing job. And then when we shape up the roster, then I'll figure out the way that they can perform at a high level, and we're going to get better. So getting better every week, every month, and every year is going to be important. Mike, you're going to set this, you're going to get out. Nick, you're going to go high, and we're going to go Nick here.
Jordi Fernández, the guy can straight up coach. An impressive resume.
Star in your role. You have starred in a coaching role, it seems like forever. You started coaching when you were 15?
Yeah.
Take us back. How does that happen? How does that manifest itself that you're that young and coaching in the position that you were?
Yeah, I mean, a club setting is a lot different, right? I grew up playing in a club, and over there you have the kids playing in the 6 and unders all the way to the senior team. So there's all the ages. At the time, being 15, which probably will be like high school age, I was like, I want to be an assistant coach for the younger kids so I can start learning how to coach. Because when I played, I felt like I played like telling everybody what to do and, how hard we got to play and all this. Like, I enjoyed playing, like that was a passion of mine. But then when I got into coaching, I learned from the coaches in my club how to coach. And I think that was important because I also want to help the coaches on my staff to grow and develop, because at the end of the day, the team success is going to take coaches to other places, which at the end of the day, it tells you that you're doing something right. So the players' development is important, but everybody else in the organization.
How would you describe yourself as a coach?
So the number one thing to me is to try to connect with people, right? And everybody's different, every group is different, but you got to try. And like I said before, I don't know if I'm good or bad, but I can tell you that I try. And that's the number one thing, trying. Trying to connect, try to care about what others do. Again, it's not about building friendships. That's to me, that's what a lot of people sometimes misunderstands. If we're friends, great. That's going to happen organically. But I think that building relationships, then if we're in a tough game and I have to coach you really hard, if we have the relationship, I think it's going to work out. If we don't have it, it's not going to work out. So that's the number one thing to me. Competitiveness is the second one. We got to fight. And that's what's going to make everybody proud. A team that is, that competes at a high level on both ends of the floor. And I think that you can develop that in your day-to-day basis. I think everybody thinks, we got to play hard in our games. No. You got to compete, especially when nobody sees you, when you're in the gym by yourself. Because the easiest is to do it in a game, right? Everybody's excited to play a game, but to compete every single day at everything you do, I think that it's important. And then the last thing, like I said before, is putting the team first, right? Like, you have to embrace your role, and if you do what's best for the team, we're going to be in a good place.
You've been in a lot of places in your coaching career, and the list is long. Obviously, we know about your success most recently with Sacramento as the associate head coach, but your time in Denver, your time as the head coach and assistant coach with the Cat in Charge. You go back to Cleveland, and then you start looking at helping the Canadian national team to their first medal in the World Cup, the Nigerian national team, Spanish national team, all the other stops that you have been at. How have those different roles, I mean, you mentioned so much about understanding the totality of what it takes. How have those roles affected and changed what you think you will bring and how prepared you'll be for this position now?
Yeah, those experiences put me in situations that were unexpected for me at the time. And like I said before, I had to adjust. And that for sure will help me to figure out something that's going to happen here. The thing is, I don't know it's going to happen. So like I said before, I'm not concerned about that. Issues are going to show up at times, and if we have that positive mindset, I think we'll be okay. And then you talked about all these experiences as a coach, right? The relationships that you build. So I think that is extremely important for me to come here and tell everybody, hey, not just the players, but the coaches, I need you to do exactly A, B, and C because I've been through it. Then once we build our identity as a coaching staff, then we can start shaping up as a group how we develop as a group, because I also want people to be themselves. But initially, I have to give direction. I have to give a structure. So this way, from the beginning, the players feel like they have all the support they need.
Mike Brown was someone you've talked about being a mentor, obviously 2 stints with him, not only in Sacramento, but time earlier in Cleveland. And most recently, you were somewhat of the defensive coordinator for the Kings in the really great jump and success that they've had. Is that part of when you look at the defensive side of things, offensive side of things, you innately, is there a side of the ball or a side in terms of how you look at things schematically that you're more drawn to as a coach, or was that just part of the fit and how you fit in with the staff with the Kings?
Yeah, it was my job at the time. Like, we all had different jobs, like I said, different roles. That was mine, to be the chief of staff and then run the defense. But I consider myself a basketball coach, not offense, not defense. I've been able to coach my own teams, like you said, and the G League in Canton and also with Canada. And I love offense, I love defense. I approach it in different ways. But I'm going to have a structured coaching staff, and I'm going to have people doing different jobs, and I want all of them to grow, like I said, and bring the best out of them for the team's success.
When you start to look at some of the pieces for this Nets team that either are certain to be on the roster or hopefully on the roster, one that Sean Marks said was a priority, and hopefully making sure that Nick Claxton is still a part of this team. Claxton in particular, watching what he's done on both ends of the floor, his progression and trajectory. What have you seen out of him and just the impact that he can continue to have on this team? Yeah,
first of all, defensively, he's a very versatile player, right? You can play him in coverage, he can switch, he's pretty good rim protector. So that allows us to play in different ways, and I think that is super valuable because we want to be very good defensively. So I think he has a chance to be Defensive Player of the Year. So on that end of the floor, you can see already the talent. Offensively, I know in the past the team has played more pick and roll, heavy pick and roll, which he's great because he's quick to the rim. He puts pressure on the rim, which at the end of the day will give up open shots to his teammates, or he'll finish at the rim. But one thing that he did very well, and probably not enough, is his dribble handoff game. So he can share the basketball. That helps you with ball movement. So it's going to be great to see a player like him playing that way. I'm used to playing that way with Canada, with Sac, with Denver. Obviously not comparing him to Nikola or Domas, but his ability to do it is amazing. I think he'd be great at it, and he has both. He has the pressure on the rim and pick and roll, and he's shown his ability to dribble handoff. So I'm very excited to get to coach him. Some of the young players, I know you have been tremendous in your player development, and it was fun, especially down the stretch of the season, to see what Noah Clowney had done during the year with the Long Island Nets and translate so much into what he was doing with the Brooklyn Nets. Jalen Wilson had a really just integral role in so many spots. Dariq Whitehead still recovering from injury, but was here at your press conference, and obviously a lot of optimism what he can bring. When you see young players in a youthful core, how does that excite you in the ways in which you can continue to help those players develop? Very exciting because they have a lot of room to improve, and they're already very good at what they do. Like you said, Noah had a great end of the season showing like what he can do in real NBA minutes. But also what I think his biggest development was in the G League. I'm a big believer in the G League, as you know, because I coached there, and not just for the players, but also for the coaches. He did a tremendous job, and it translated. So that's how we want to work as a club organization, to value everybody that is involved, and to appreciate the work they're doing. And I think he did. He got rewarded, and now we have high expectations for him, and I do have it, and I want his summer to be very structured, very organized, keep getting better, because now he's not the same player that he was before. So I know he'll be ready, and we'll help him. More importantly, Sean was telling a couple players, I don't know if you had allowed this or agreed to this, that he thinks you may be cooking for some of them. For sure, yeah. You cook? Yeah. Tell us more. It's one of my favorite
Can I
things.
sign up? Can I get an invite to this dinner?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, no, like everybody else, I think that we all need balance in our lives. Cooking is, in my culture, is a great social time to spend with the family. I'm a terrible singer. I cannot play instruments, but I love music. So my favorite thing in the world to do is to cook, play records. I have a big record collection, and to be with my kids, be with my family, and cook for people. I think that social time, you're not coming when the food is ready, you're coming throughout the process, and I really enjoy doing that. I think brings people together, and it's, like I said, one of my favorite things to do.
You fit in very well here in Brooklyn. With that being said, what's your favorite dish to cook?
I don't think I have a favorite one, but I'm open to cook a lot of different things. Obviously, Spanish food is, like it brings me back to my, to my childhood. And my grandma is like an amazing cook. So my mom and my dad, and that's where everything started, is getting all the family together in a really small apartment in my hometown, and having like a table across the living room and everybody there to eat together. So that brings me great memories, and I continue to do that.
An actual record player?
Yeah, vinyls, yeah.
What are you playing?
Whatever you want. I have everything. My goal is that if you come to our house, you will always find a vinyl that you will love.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think from every single genre and music style, you'll find something you'll like.
Have you collected these over the years? Do you still try and, is this?
So I have my parents, I have my wife's grandma, I have my wife's mom's, and I have the ones, I like to go to the small used record stores, like the secondhand ones. If I remember in Delaware when I coached in the G League, I found an off-the-wall Michael Jackson record for $8. In New Orleans, I found Jamiroquai. Like it's, I remember, for the most part, I remember what I bought every single one. Like I found a record that I couldn't find for years in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in a really small record store, and their selection was amazing. So it was, it's a cool thing to do. Just walk around, try to find one, and just come up with a record.
But you don't have a favorite?
Growing up, my favorite band was Oasis. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you remember. I've been to 4 concerts. They're no longer together, but I like all types of music. I like to learn. Like my wife is a big country fan, and I've been learning a lot more about country lately. So open to everything. I'm sure you'll find something you like.
Your wife and Beyonce, everyone's getting into country. Now you don't sing, but you dance?
Yeah, why not? I think it's a way to express happiness and, like have energy. Like,
Careful.
I'm
Our incredible content team here with the Brooklyn Nets may
that
have too much fun with all of this.
You probably won't see me dancing. You probably won't see me dancing on the court, but I'm not going to say that I've never done it. So, and as as Spanish culture, we have a lot of that, and I've tried sometimes. Let's put it that way.
Okay, fair enough. As you get set for the summer, it's obviously going to be a busy one. This is going to be entering your first year as a head coach of an NBA team. You're also the head coach of the Canadian national team. What will the balance be like with that and just everything that is on your plate now for the next few months?
Yeah, I think it's just the structure and trusting everything we're doing here. We're going to put together a very good coaching staff that will have everything organized throughout the summer. Everything will be in place and functioning. This way, when we play Team USA in Vegas, then that will allow me to be around the team, summer league team. That after summer league, usually there's a little bit of downtime. It's where the Olympics are going to happen, and then when the Olympics are over, is when things start picking up again. So the timing works perfectly. Like I said, everything will be. The structure, everybody will be working, because what we cannot do is wait until September to start working. Otherwise, it's going to be too late.
Is anyone, I know you've talked about your mentors, but is there anyone you've started to talk to yet that has given you any advice that's really stuck with you or resonated you to this point as you get set for this new journey?
A lot of people that I trust in the business, especially the close friends. I would not say one person in particular, but I've been supported by very good friends, ask their opinions, because at the end of the day, Sometimes you just need that, somebody to reaffirm or give you an opinion. At the end of the day, you'll make your own decision. But everybody's been very supportive. I've known great people in this business now for many years, and I'm very, very thankful.
You're one article away from completing your PhD?
One away.
I don't even know when you'll have time to do anything, but what is the timeline like to potentially do that, and how much does that impact now with the NBA? And obviously there's so much X's and O's, but also you have continued to talk about relationships, the importance of that. How has that been integral in just what you've been able to do in your coaching career?
Yeah, so when I came here, I always said 15 years ago that I would finish it when I get fired, and I haven't gotten fired yet, and I will not get fired. So it's not going to happen now for a long time. Maybe when I retire is when I have the time to sit down and do it, because I will do it. It was great, the process of learning how to research, how to do a study, and I think that it's helped me through my coaching process, because those are things that are very special to do, and you have to put a lot of time and you have to learn a lot. So it was a good part of my education. Hopefully I could finish it sooner, but I don't plan on finishing right at the second.
Good. We hope you don't finish it anytime soon. What would you like Brooklyn Nets fans to know about a Jordi Fernández coach team?
That we're going to fight really hard. Like I said before, they'll be proud of watching a very competitive team, a team that fights. They can identify themselves with that. A team that is connected, so everybody sees that they do it together. And they can also support in that way. And then a team that is selfless. The team is going to be first. What we have across the chest, Brooklyn, it's going to be the most important thing. And doing what's best for that, it's going to be the most important. So being connected, competitive, and selfless, it's going to be what they're going to see. You
have been in Barclays Center and have coached there as a visitor. But your expectation and hope, standing there and being a part of the Brooklyn Nets in front of a Barclays Center crowd, knowing what that environment is like, what do you anticipate that to be? I
was trying to educate myself on the borough, being vibrant and diverse. That's what I want to see when I get there, and especially the energy. So I can wait for the guys to play so hard, and for the place to rock and be a fun place to watch games.
Competitive food and music, you got this covered. You're the perfect fit, Jordi. Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you so much.